Hello. No more mixed Tuesdays. We're back. Oh, I didn't hear you, DeAndre. We're back, y'all. We're back.
Yes, we are.
Yes. Oh my goodness. How you been? Well, first of all, before we even get started, let me say welcome everyone to another episode of Cultivating Conversations with DP Squared. I'm your host. Not my co-host getting frozen though.
That was me.
You good? Yeah, you good?
Yeah, my connection, Jill. My bad. Go ahead.
Oh, maybe it's me. Maybe it's me with the bad connection. But no, thank y'all for joining us again today for another episode. We are excited. I'm ready to get into everything. But before we get into it, how have you been, DeAndre? We like to check in with one another.
Yeah, I've been good. I've been refreshed, Right, yeah, welcome back for part 3. Yeah, I'm ready for part 3. It's just time to learn, time to teach, time for me to learn something new. So, it's been a long day, but I'm ready always for 6:30.
Yeah, this is our last part of R.I.C.E University. So we're thankful for everyone who joined us, everyone who tuned in later, who tuned in live. We love our live people because those are people that is near and dear to our hearts. But we appreciate everyone who also tunes in after the fact. Mm-hmm. But today we're going to get into some good stuff. So you know how the first episode we did diabetes. We talked about diabetes. Second one we talked about sexual health, and so today we want to talk about women's health, specifically with those who want to be mothers or those who are mothers. I feel that I don't always know a lot about this topic, but I'm interested to have more knowledge about this because I think that so many things are happening, but I don't really pay attention as much. So I want to make sure I'm tapped in, and I think it's good for both men and women to tune into these type of things. So today we have Krystle Thomas, who is, I'm going to bring up in a second, but she's the Director of Programs and Education at ADV Women's Health Services. And as soon as I looked at the Instagram, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm so happy that she's going to be on here because it looks so, the work they're doing is so cool. So I'm going to pop her up now. Hi, Krystle.
Hey.
Oh.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on. How are you guys?
We're good. I'm you know what? Even though it's only Tuesday, this week has already trained me. So I'm good, but I'm, barely here, but I'm good.
Tomorrow's Wednesday. I thought about that. I was like, yeah, tomorrow's Wednesday. Yeah.
Yes. I know. But before we get started, I wanted to do a quick little icebreaker. Nothing too crazy, but just wanted to get us started.
Okay.
And you can answer too, but I want to ask Krystle first. So which one is your favorite holiday out of the next 3 that are coming up? So we have Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, if you celebrate all or none. But which one would be your favorite out of the 3? Which one you're looking forward to?
I would say Halloween. I love dressing up, Halloween parties. I was so sad I was out of town for Halloween weekend. I'm like, I'm gonna miss the parties. It was a big block party. And I love looking on TikTok and Instagram and seeing what everybody come up with. Everybody's so creative. And I'm just I love Halloween. I love Halloween.
Yeah.
So,
what about you, DeAndre?
I gotta go Christmas. I'm a sucker for nostalgia. I'm a sucker.
Yes.
It's just the vibes. I don't know. It just makes me feel special.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey y'all, I'm just in the comments. If it's crazy. I guess we all chose a different one, but I'm gonna say Thanksgiving because I think when you get older, you don't always get as much good home cooked meals. So you be so ready.
That's second. That's second. I don't like when people after Halloween they be like Christmas. I was like, whoa, where's the disrespect? Y'all don't like Thanksgiving. Y'all don't like to eat.
True.
I don't. This is rude.
I'm ready.
Mariah Carey, chill.
No, seriously.
I would like to let me digest my meal, then she can come.
Right. 100%. It's I don't want to see Santa Claus yet.
No, where the pumpkins? Where the turkey?
Right.
Candy at? Wait.
No. Oh my goodness. Okay. This is the last one. Okay. What would be your go-to karaoke song? You don't have that much. You just gotta know the lyrics immediately. Which one? I gotta think. Oh wait. You know what?
That's I could think.
No, I know. I always ask questions that takes me time to think. It's crazy. But if I had to give y'all some time, I'm always going to choose Moment for Life by Nicki Minaj. Like that is I know the lyrics from
That's your song?
You know I know that.
Yeah, I know.
What's your song?
What'd you say?
I have mine because I'm just gonna say my favorite song.
Okay.
And it's It Never Rains in Southern California by Tony Tone. That is my favorite song.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so I'm gonna sing that one because that's my favorite song.
I never done karaoke, but I would do "Can't Stand the Rain" by New Edition.
So we raining over here.
I like that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Do you even know the words, DeAndre?
I do.
Okay. And make sure y'all put y'all songs in the chat too. I want to know what people's go-to karaoke songs are. But
I love in the New Edition movie when they like their performance. That's like my favorite part of the movie where they kind of did each. So that's a good song. That's one of my favorites too.
That's a great song.
That's a good song.
Every time, and they killed that New Edition.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting off track. Okay, let me focus. Could you give us like a quick overview? Because I'm pretty sure most of the people tuning in probably don't know about Abide. So could you tell us a little bit about what you all do and then your role specifically there?
So Abide Women's Health Services is in Dallas, Texas. We are a easy access clinic, and we're modeled after the JJ Way. So JJ Way is Jenny Joseph. She's a British trained midwife, and we're actually certified in the JJ Way. And they have a clinic that's similar to ours, which we replicated ours from in Orlando. That's where her clinic is. So we have an easy access clinic, meaning if you call and say you're pregnant, we can try to see you in the next 2 weeks, which is, hard. We see prenatal care and then postpartum visits, but we don't deliver babies yet. We know that's a need, and moms desire home births because a lot of the times, like birthing centers and things like that, sometimes they accept insurance, sometimes they don't. And then you have the issue of like Medicaid. Sometimes there's like, I think only one or maybe two in Dallas that accepts Medicaid. And I always tell people, like, if you want to get in, you need to call as soon as you pee on that stick. Like, don't wait. Like as soon as you see two lines, just, hey.
Yeah.
So we have that. So that's our main thing that we do is prenatal and postpartum care. With me, so I'm the director of programs. We have different programs. So we have a lactation program. So any mom can or any parents can access this lactation consultant online. And then now we're doing it in clinic as well. So they can speak to a IBCLC, which is a certified lactation counselor, international board certified lactation counselor, for free. We have, I'm like going through my list. We have, with our partner, Delighted to Doula, we do, our moms, if they choose to, they can have a postpartum doula. The postpartum doula is in-house to 6 weeks, and then it's like, hey girl checks and check-ins for the year postpartum, because postpartum that year is very critical. We have our mobile clinic, which we start launching in Tarrant County. So if you're familiar with Dallas-Fort Worth, we got Dallas, we got Fort Worth, Dallas County, Tarrant County. So we're taking our mobile clinic to Fort Worth for that need. So instead of a brick and mortar, it'll be a clinic. So that's coming soon. So we've been slowly launching our mobile clinic out at different health fairs and offering like pregnancy tests, but next year it'll be full scale as if you're in the clinic. Yes, so we have that. We have free childbirth education. So anybody, even if you're not our client, it's open to the community. We do childbirth education. That's part of what I do too as well. And then I also go into different organizations like maternity homes and different schools and stuff and teach childbirth education as well. I even talk about female health. And then we have some partners that we do sexual health with, Talk About It Texas. And so they come in and teach, but we provide the space or the connection, if you will. And then we have adolescent health. And so we are a safe space, considered us working on our certification to be a safe space for adolescents, because we will see anybody if you're pregnant. Excuse me. So if you're 39 weeks and you're still pregnant, we'll see you, which is in the pregnancy space. After 20 weeks, some doctors won't take you. Because you're too far along. And so we see a lot of that sometimes. We see a lot of people who can't pay. So we're low cost. We only ask for $20 per visit. And we won't turn you away from your ability to pay. And we're nonprofit. So, we we have donors and things like that, and we apply for grants so to cover those costs. But you have some women who could pay and they'll pay more, and some who can't. So we'll never turn anybody away. We're located in what we call a maternal toxic zone. So it's literally where it's considered dangerous to have children, be pregnant, or nurse. And that's where South Dallas is.
Yeah. I was looking at you guys' mission and values, and everything you just said, I feel like definitely correlates to this. And I was watching a YouTube video, and one of the women in the video said, "What does it look like to have a birthhood center in the hood?" And
that's our CEO.
That's the CEO. Yeah, that's why I thought that's who you was. I didn't want to guess, and I wanted to ask you, what do you think the importance of that statement? I know that's semi-sarcastic joke, but it's true in its essence. I want to ask you, like, what do you think the importance of that is?
It's so important because we're literally in South Dallas on MLK Boulevard, right? We know where MLK Boulevard is in each state.
Most cities,
we own MLK. And a lot of people come in, and my parents were, raised in South Dallas, and I was like, when I started working there, I've never seen this place. But it's literally just, when people come in, you watch their shoulders drop. And so we have clients from all over, some who just want to see, all of our providers are Black, just to see someone who looks like them. We have people that say, or we get immigrants sometimes, and they're like, hey, no one will see me. I've been seeing in where I'm from, but I want to check on my baby now, but no one will take me. We have those clients. We have those clients who no one will take them. Their insurance dropped, or they got a new job, or their insurance doesn't, kick in for the 90 days and they're uninsured. So to have that safe space for you, your baby, and your family, I just think it's just beautiful to have. And it's a safe space, because being pregnant and starting a family is a very, very vulnerable situation. And sometimes we get taken advantage of. Sometimes we don't know how to move or what to do, especially first-time parents. And Abide provides that place to learn, to be safe, to be you, and to grow your family in an environment that you feel safe and you feel welcome.
I just thought about this actually. Has there ever been any like older mothers that's ever came and talked to y'all? Like, maybe not people who are trying to have kids now, but just ones who are like, oh, I wish I had this when I was younger.
Oh, absolutely. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. So we'll see that. We'll see the grandmas come in and they're like, what is this when I had her? Well, how long y'all been here? We all the time. Or we'll get someone who's had babies have a break. And they were like, I wish I had this with my first pregnancy, So we definitely, those exact words. Absolutely.
Okay. And I think sometimes people don't think about this a lot, but so I'm a person, I try to lean more towards holistic care as much as I can. I know sometimes you do need to do things that I guess more like in that Western European ideal when it comes to having to go to the doctor or take certain medication. But why do you think it's so important for people to maybe go to holistic care first before tapping into those other things? Or maybe what are your thoughts about that? And just because sometimes I think we're programmed to think there's a certain way to get care, but there's so many other like maybe natural or just better ways that are for our bodies that we weren't aware of. So what do you think about that?
So holistic, people, doesn't know what that means. And that's kind of treating the body as a whole. Compared to the doctor, I have a runny nose, they're just going to treat my runny nose. That's it, right? So holistic, we're thinking of the whole body, right? Something I was thinking about when I was, reading that question. It's like my own GYN, she's not taking insurance anymore because insurance, your appointment is 15 minutes. It's 15 minutes enough time to explain, especially a first-time mother. You're worried. You don't know what's normal. You don't know what's not. Is that enough time? It's not. No. So with holistic, we're like, questions our midwives will ask, are you eating? What's your diet like? Are you safe at home? Are you getting enough food to eat? How do you feel right now in your body being pregnant? And those so many things affect your baby. So, because if your mental is not right, that stress can affect your baby.
Right.
If you're not eating properly or know how to eat properly, that's going to affect your baby. Right? So all those things, we have to work together to make sure, and even culturally, right? We got to think of the cultural aspect. We got to think of the social aspect. All those things are important when carrying life.
True.
Yeah. I was, were we just talking about that, DeAndre, on the last one when I was saying, like your body gives you so many signals, and people, sometimes we walk around the world and a lot of people aren't connected to their bodies for many reasons. But when you really when you have the privilege of being able to listen to your body and what the cues and the things it's telling you, it's such a great thing, because like you were saying before, you might everything is connected. Like one thing can always lead to the next. It's crazy. It's honestly crazy how connected your body, mind, spirit, so everything.
Yes.
So it makes
especially in the Black community, is some things we don't understand. Like, for instance, y'all talked about diabetes, and something that when I was in clinic and client facing, you do the test, the glucose testing to see if they have gestational diabetes. And if you're like kind of on the border, we're like, hey, watch, be mindful. Someone say, oh, you're close to gestational diabetes. What do you think when you think diabetes? Sugar.
Yeah.
But someone's like, oh, I don't eat sweets. Yeah, but do you eat a lot of carbs? Do you eat a lot of rice? When you eat those things, they turn into sugar. So somebody might not explain to them, and they might just get worse. But when I was in class, like, hey, you said you don't eat sugar, but do you eat a lot of rice? Do you eat a lot of beans? I'm thinking cultural foods. Do you eat this? Hey, when you eat those things, those turn into sugar. So we have to watch those things, right? And so explaining it so they know, like, okay, yeah, I don't eat sweets, but I also need to be careful on my carbs. I need to eat more veggies. Oh, these are the type of veggies that I need to eat, and all those things. So that's that holistic piece that someone's like, oh, you're very, you passed your test, but it's kind of on the level. Have a good day. And you're like, okay, I don't eat sugar, so I'm fine.
Right.
But you're gonna go home and just eat rice and bread and stuff, and not knowing that contributes to the diabetes or the gestational diabetes.
Yeah, that's true. I think the Brandon, my cousin, who was on that first episode, he talked about that too, talking about the carbs piece and stuff. It's about like sugar or whatever. So why do you, I definitely 100% see the necessity for services like the ones you all provide, but why do you think it is so necessary and important? Do you think it's more so because of that lack of access or education, or do you feel that you all are trying to like close the disparities between different communities? Why do you think services and organizations like these are so needed and essential to our overall like health and just access to what we need, essentially?
All the above. All the above, because there's so many things that people don't think about or know, right? You don't need, we hear OBGYN together, but let's separate it. OB is the one who delivers the baby. The GYN is where I go and get my pap smear. Sometimes they do both. Sometimes they do one or the other.
Right.
Like, for instance, if I was to get pregnant and I went to my GYN, she'd be like, yes, you're pregnant. Here's your sonogram. You have a nice day, because she's not delivering my baby.
Yeah.
And we see a lot of that too. They're like, my GYN doesn't deliver. And then I sit on a bunch of calls with March of Dimes, and they are closing maternity wards more and more and more. So where are you gonna have your baby? Right. We live in a big city like Dallas. So, most of the there are some hospitals that don't have a labor and delivery. So our clients that deliver, you can go to, they're like, oh, I'll go to this hospital. I'm like, they don't have a labor and delivery, right? And they're like, what? I'm like, not every hospital has an L&D. And then if you get more towards, I know, like when I went to that March of Dimes calls, you have the border towns and kind of West Texas. There's they have to travel like 4 hours to go to their appointments.
Wow.
Because there's no L&D. They're closing L&Ds down.
What is the reason?
Money, insurance. Their insurance is the highest. And a lot of OB/GYNs are like, it's not worth it to me to do the part, to do the obstetrics. I said that 10 times. Yeah. I'm just gonna do GYN. I'm just gonna do GYN. Like, and we see that too. We have clients that are like, I have a GYN, but she doesn't deliver babies. So I don't have, that's what happens when sometimes with our clients are like, I have a doctor, but she can't help me deliver the baby.
Yeah.
And so that access to care, we're right there on the bus line. That's important. You have someone who looks like you. And then we go to the other access piece, right? If I called my doctor right now, I could not go see her next week.
That's true.
Facts.
That's true.
It'll be a month, 2
Yes.
months if I'm lucky.
Yes.
Imagine you're pregnant. You found out 4 or 6 weeks, you missed period, right? You found out, and then 6 weeks from now, you're already in your second trimester. But with us, we see you in the next week if we can.
You're right.
We're seeing you the next week, or at the minimum, at the max 2 weeks, we'll see clients.
Yeah.
So that's that access piece that people don't think about, not necessarily location, but just think about how long it takes you to get to your doctor.
Yeah.
Right.
I think you brought up a great point actually about access, and you brought up how you can't contact your doctor. And along with all your services, you guys started the mobile unit like you brought up. And I just wanted to ask you a question about, I know telehealth right now is huge, and especially since COVID happened, it's been on the rise where people are connecting with their doctors and care workers through phone or through meetings on Zoom or whatever they can connect. I just wanted to ask, do you guys incorporate telehealth in any of you guys' operations?
We've done it for clients who can't come to us, like they don't have a ride or transportation. We will do it, but with having a baby, you can't tell the baby if you're not physically present or listen to our tone. But we do offer like a check-in. Hey, how are you doing? What are your symptoms, for the most part? But if our client has questions, like say for instance, my appointment 3 weeks from now and I'm bleeding, we have a provider line. We have they can reach on their client portal and be like, hey, midwife such and such, this is happening, what do you think I should do, or can you call me? So we have the ways that they can contact us.
Okay, nice. Yeah,
that's good. One thing I just thought about, so we're located in the DMV area, so DC, Maryland, Virginia. So I know that you all are in Dallas, but what are some ways that like people around here could find out if there are services like the ones y'all provide in our area? I guess we could just maybe do a simple Google search, but it just seems hard sometimes to figure out what resources you have. So I know a lot of people that tune in are in this area, so I don't.
So a Google search,
right? That's not like maybe Google.
But I notice a lot of people don't really know how to use Google really well. That's the thing.
Yeah,
but Google. That's how a lot of people find us now. We have Google ads and things like that. Okay. Searching low cost prenatal care, that's or free prenatal care, donation based. There's probably so many things. I guess I should have looked this up of stuff in the DMV, but I'm sure, especially now being on the Capitol, I know that they're speaking more about maternal health and infant mortality rate. So I'm sure that's something that's probably there, but you don't know about because you're not looking for it, right?
True.
And so people who are pregnant are like, I had no idea about this place, and I go, why would you know? Because you're not pregnant. You're not looking for. That's like me looking for like a random doctor. I don't know their names because I don't need them.
Right.
So that's usually how people find us is Google.
Okay.
Or Black maternal health, things like that, Black maternal health care, and then where you're from. That's how a lot of people find us. And then for us, our clients, they need, we talk about the holistic care. They might need stuff that we can't provide. So in every appointment in the JJWA, they have stations. So station 2 is where they talk to the client resource specialist, which used to be my old job. And some clients are like, I'm fine, I don't need anything. And some clients are having food insecurities. They don't have a car seat, or because you can't leave the hospital without a car seat, or I don't have food, I don't have a place to live, things like that. And our client resource specialist provides them with the resources. It's because we handhold, and pregnancy is hard enough,
right?
So it's like, hey, you need this. Here's some people you can call. Or you want to quit smoking? Here's a smoking resource. Hey, you need a car seat? Here's the Texas Health and Human Resources, and they offer car seats. You just have to take a class. We give them those resources. So
that's good. DeAndre, I want to ask you something real quick, just to, so why, from your perspective, being a guy, do you? I guess the question I want to kind of ask is like, why do you think it's important for people to know about what she's talking about, even if it doesn't really directly, well, it could kind of, it does affect you, because of course, if you're in a family unit, you as the father, you need to, you know, but even if someone, you're not even thinking about having a kid or whatever, to me, I just feel that people should be educated about this stuff regardless if you are in that position or not. But you, just from a guy's perspective, why do you think that you should be tapped in and knowing? Like,
I definitely think from a guy and a minority perspective is very important to understand, number one, the racial disparities that we are facing constantly. You definitely should be aware and not, you know, having a neglect towards these things, act like they don't exist, because it is true. Because even if it does directly affect me. You know, if my mother or my sister or cousins or wife, you know, have a kid, these things matter in this instance. And a lot of people, like you said, you know, if you're not going through it, why even search for it?
Right.
But in this case, something like this is very important to, especially when we did the prior podcast about, you know, infant mortality and then the mothers dying during birth as well. Those things happen so often, especially in our communities. Just as me as a guy, I want to at least be knowledgeable about these things. So I think everyone else needs to as well, because it affects all of us, especially.
That's true.
And something I want to add is, most of the time, some women, the advocate they have is their partners or their brothers or their uncles. And so, especially in that delivery room, sometimes it's the man that says, hey, she's not feeling right. Hey, you know, you guys need to do something. And so we see that a lot. Men, they attend our childbirth education class. I taught at a college once, and he was like, well, what do I need to look at? Like, if my future wife, like, what do I? And so I was like, like, you got to know the signs. Like, okay, she's swelling this. Okay, that's a sign of preeclampsia. I need to take her to the hospital. Things like that. So it affects us because we are 4 times more likely to die during childbirth than anybody else, no matter our socioeconomic status. It doesn't just affect the poor Blacks. It doesn't. It's everybody. So it's so important that we know, like, signs and what things are and how to advocate. And I didn't mention this, I am a doula by trade as well.
Nice.
So yeah.
For those who don't know what a doula is, because sometimes I assume that people use certain terms, but could you quickly explain what that means?
Yes. So I'm a birth and postpartum doula. So a doula is a woman who helps. So I help women when they're giving birth from the social, like the emotional and physical aspects. So, you know, I'm doing childbirth education. I'm teaching, you know, movements, especially if they want an unmedicated birth, they want a hospital birth. I'm educating on their choices, and I'm there not to replace our partner, but there for both of them, to help them get through that transition and be their advocate. So, and then postpartum, I go into the house and I assist the mom. I'm trained to know what the signs are for postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety, so that if I do see those things, hey, you need help. Helping the mom. Someone explained, one of my clients says, you are a mother to mothers. I am a mother to mothers. So making sure they have what they need in that postpartum period, because sometimes it's like, hey, where's the baby?
Right.
Hold up. It's like, I don't care about you anymore. Where's the baby? But what about the mom? Has the mom eaten? Has the mom showered?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, has she slept?
Yeah.
Right.
Those things that people don't think about. And I always tell people, like, you know, my best friend's about to have a baby. And I'm like, I'll come over, and I'm like, look, I'm not coming over to talk with you, let you shower, make sure you eat, make sure your house doesn't drive you crazy because it's not clean, so you don't sleep because your house is not clean. You want a clean house,
right?
You know, those things like that. People don't forget about the mothers, and so as a postpartum doula, I make sure that doesn't happen. I make sure that she makes it to her baby's first birthday, and the baby makes it to their first birthday.
Right. Yeah.
So
no, I love that. I love that. Doing the Lord's work.
Yeah, I'm also a fertility doula, so, you know, coaching too of how to get pregnant, because people, you know, they just think you have sex and that's it. Which is, you know, that's the big part.
Right.
But, you know, it's a little piece, but people don't know about ovulation, and in the Black community, infertility is not talked about. It's everybody's quiet and they suffer in silence, right?
Yeah.
So those things like, hey, do you know when you're ovulating? Do you have a regular cycle? No. Okay, well, let's start there.
Right.
Like, why don't you have a regular cycle? What are you eating? What are you taking? What are things preventing you from having a menstrual cycle or ovulating?
We do have one question. So someone said, "Wow, she's always busy. What does she do to wind down?" Yes, that is true.
Sleep.
Same.
No, yes, I'm always busy. Not to add that I'm also in the military. Not to also add, I'm a prison doula as well.
Wow, a prison doula.
Yeah, so I actually just did my certification. So I just got back yesterday. I went to Montgomery, Alabama, and did my prison with the Alabama Prison Project, Prison Doula Project, and got certified through them. So I'll be going to a prison here in DFW to do doula services for women who are incarcerated. So
wow, that's dope.
Yes, that's for my next trip.
Right. So what are you doing to
next trip? That's what I'm doing to wind down. So yesterday, to answer your question, I got off the plane. I took a nap.
Okay.
Naps are great. And I went to a spa. So we have an Asian-like spa here in Dallas called King Spa. Nice. So it's like saunas and massages. So I did that. So I sat in the sauna, sat in the hot tubs, and got a massage. So I am required to do that once a month. That is my thing. And our CEO is big on rest. One of our sayings is rest, resist, restore. And she is big on get your rest, especially with me having a chronic illness as well that affects my fertility. She's like looking at me, she's like, you know, you don't have to be here, right? Go home and go to sleep.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, no, but
yeah.
What you doing here? So we are big on resting. We actually, Abide does operate on a 32-hour work week. So that's helpful. That is, you know, we don't do 40, we do 2. And so we do staff retreat. So that's next week. I am looking forward to our staff retreat next week. One part of that is getting massages. So I was like, yes, I get 2 massages.
Yeah.
I was like, I get 2 massages this month.
I know that's right.
Yes.
No, that's so cool.
So massages, especially after a birth, because my body after a birth is I'm hurting.
Yes.
I'm like, my feet, my back, my neck, all of it. So yeah, especially after a birth, it's definitely self-care day after a birth for sure.
That's good. That's really good. I learned so much.
Yeah.
30 minutes. I appreciate you for sharing your knowledge and your wisdom, and honestly just opening my eyes to a lot of things, even just thinking about like maybe stuff that people should pursue as a profession. Sometimes I don't really hear this profession a lot just in my immediate circle. So I just think this might even interest people from that aspect as well to want to get involved in that career field. So I learned a lot and I appreciate. We do like to end our podcast with the, it's called like our hashtag Go Cultivate. So just a tip that we ask someone to give us that is related to the episode, a tip or educational piece or just something you want to share with people that they can leave with, or something you want to charge them with doing. It can be literally anything. We like to end off on that.
And I'm going to talk to myself while I say this, is listen to your body. Nobody knows your body more than you do. And if a doctor is not giving you what you need, go see another one. Nobody knows your body better than you do.
True.
Yeah.
So listen to it. And if you feel like something's wrong, something probably is.
Yeah. I like that one. I try to I need to practice what I preach because I say that one a lot, but I gotta continue to remember that. Yeah. Did you have anything other questions, DeAndre? I think
go cultivate for about, like she said, rest part. And I'm like she said, I'm speaking to myself too.
We all gonna take a nap.
Yeah.
And gotta take some time.
Everybody go sleep after this.
Yeah.
Take your time to relax because everybody's always on go mode. What's next? What's next? Never take some time for yourself. So yeah. So rest.
Grind culture. I'm not grinding anymore.
Nope.
I'm not the strong Black woman anymore.
No. I guess if people want to follow you all's journey or support anything like that, I know you all have an Instagram, so it's like it's Abide Women.
Yeah,
it's Abide _ woman. I was like, oh, where's my phone? It's Abide _ woman, and then Abide Women's Health Services on Facebook, and we also have TikTok. And just if you type in Abide Women's Health Services, you should be able to find it.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, and donate to us because the more you donate, the more money you have. We can create abides elsewhere.
Yes.
So that's actually the goal, to have more clinics. So
yeah,
the more you donate, the more you give and support the cause, the more we can expand and grow, for sure.
Mm-hmm. No, I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Krystle, for
thank you
your presence on this Tuesday. We appreciate it so much.
Okay.
And
I would love to come back. Look,
okay.
We will have you back.
I can talk about birth for hours. Look,
okay.
I can talk about birth for hours.
Trust me. We see now. She said it live on this podcast. So when I email
like,
her,
it's only 30 minutes. I was like, I could go here for 2 hours.
No, I and thank y'all, everyone who tuned in. We appreciate y'all. We will be back next week, DeAndre. We will see the people next week. But again, everyone have a blessed Tuesday, and we love y'all.
See y'all next time.
Thank you guys for having me.